Hello, friend. Welcome to my YouTube channel DevOps with Anil. This is continuous video of lecture series AWS, and it is a part 2 of lecture VPC. Today I am going to create everything from scratch, VPC, every route table and all, everything from scratch, but today I am not going to use automation one. Before that, let me explain the theory part. What are all these component and everything? So quickly jump to the VPC network architecture, how it look like. So first of all, we can think about that this is AWS whole network. Okay, in that AWS we have a region, we have multiple region. Out of that, I am going to select region of AP South 1, which is Mumbai region. You can select anything. Okay, so how networking is work like that is, first of all, AWS is their own networking. In AWS, in own networking, we have multiple regions. In multiple regions, we already got a default VPC, but we are going to create our own custom VPC. For that, we are going to get custom VPC. Right now, if you see that, I have denoted that with the solid line, which means that inside this, whatever the component is going to create, it is not going to connect with outside the world. Okay, so in VPC, while creating the VPC, we need to pass CIDR IP. So right now, I am giving the CIDR IP of that 171.10.0.0/16, which means that CIDR network IP 171.10 are never going to be changed, and 0.0 is going to be changed because the last 16 bit is present in this last two of the octet byte. So in Mumbai region, we have three availability zone. One is AP South 1 availability zone, and second is AP South 1B, and third is AP South 1C. So our planning is that after creating VPC, we need to create separately three subnet, three public subnet, which our IPs should be not overlapping each other. So I am going to changing the IP from the public subnet is that 171.0.1.0/24. It means that for this subnet, public subnet, 171.10.1 is going to be fixed, only is going to change the last bit. Okay, the same thing for other, it's 11 and 21. We have three public subnet, now we have three private subnet as well. With the range, definitely it should be changed. I mean, CIDR IP should be changed from the public subnet. So from the external world, right now we are not able to communicate with any uh, any of these systems from the external world, like we are running from our browser and try to want to connect inside the VPC. It's not possible for now. When we create a VPC, the by default network ACL is going to be created, which belongs to each of the subnet. Okay, it is associated the each of the subnet. Network ACL work like that. We need to write a rule and specify in the subnet label. If you want to block something, suppose if you want to block any IP and all, you can add in the entry over here. But by default, this subnet, this network ACL is created automatically. So inbound rule is all traffic should be enabled, and outbound rule is also all the traffic is enabled by default. And this rule is work on the whatever the priority number you are writing over here, that is going to be depend on that which is the more added. So if I want to have, suppose I have a rule that suppose XYZ IP should be blocked all the requests, so I need to put 101 that type, what are the type, what are the protocol I want to block, what are the port range, and source. Right now it is all, but in source you can pass it the specific IP address, and whether you want to allow or deny, you can pass over in this section. So it will be checked, this NACL will be checked that thing, and that thing will be added into the association subnet. So right now by default it is added all the subnets. So public subnet is public subnet 1 is added. So this rule means whatever the rule inbound and outbound rule are showing, this network ACL is going to be added in this subnet as well. The same goes to private subnet as well, but it didn't allow your what I can say, it didn't give you the permission that you are able to connect with EC2 machine. It is able to say that you can connect, but it is actually cannot open a firewall from the actual machines. Okay, so this is a network layer. Now from external world connect to the VPC, there is should be a, we need to add in internet gateway is called IGW. When you create an internet gateway, it will start with that IGW, and that should be associated in the layer of a VPC only. So when we attach to the VPC, it will allow us to route the traffic from external world to the internet gateway, and from internet gateway to the our public router. So in public route table, public route table, we have these two rules basically. So first one rule is says that outside the world 0.0.0.0 means that anywhere in the world can be access to that, and the target is a internet gateway. So from the external, we are sitting over here and connecting to the internet gateway. That internet gateway send the request to the public router, and according to that, whatever the IP it is trying to connect to the server, according to that it will send the traffic to the respective subnets. Okay, so in public subnet, what generally we have, generally in public subnet we have a web servers. So web servers might be running on EC2, might be running on uh, EKS cluster, load balancer, whatever the things can be run. It can be the things which can be, which we want to give give access to the external client directly our machine. So if our web server is running on web server, if we have only web server, then it should be run on public subnet, so that they can easily connect from the our domain name, and domain name we can pass it, and we can navigate to the our server. But if we have a requirement of like database or our backend server, which nothing required to connect on the directly to the user or client, means we cannot provide the access to the directly to the client. So what we need to do, we need to create a private subnet, and in the private subnet we have a database and EC2 machines which runs on a backend services. Okay, but suppose what happens is that in private subnet right now this is not associated to anything. Okay, It means that it cannot be download from the internet anything, or no one can access from the internet directly. Why? Because it is not associated any route table, and in it is not associated in route table, so no one can access anything. But if you want to suppose some your operating system is going to be on patching, or you have a new security features and you want to add into the in your machines like RDS or any EC2 machines, then you need to download some packages, security packages. For that we need a NAT gateway. Why we need a NAT gateway? NAT gateway allow one-way traffic only. We can only access from the inside the subnet to outside the world, but no one can access from outside the world to inside the subnet, means inside the private subnet. Means using NAT gateway from private subnet, we have outside, means we have outbound enabled only. For NAT gate for subnets, each subnet we need to create private uh, private route table as well. Right now in our scenario, we have created a NAT gateway, and whose NAT gateway should be present on public subnet only, so that it can be accessible to the internet. If you create on private subnet, then it will not going to get on internet, and it is not going to get a traffic outside the world. Because of the IG internet gateway present on the public subnet only, that's the reason we need to provide the NAT gateway into the public subnet. Right now in the example I am showing over here is that here each subnet have their own NAT gateway, but you can specify that if you want to create only one NAT gateway and associated to all of the private subnet, it is possible and it is very much acceptable. But in the disaster scenario case, if your one availability zone is shut down, or if anything goes wrong, then your other subnets outbound requests are blocked. So in that case, generally for high availability case, you need to be have a each uh, specific NAT gateway on each availability zone. Okay, and private subnet have their own route table. We need to create it. In that we need to specify the NAT gateway, which is destination will be world. It is going to be outbound only, and this IP is a VPC IP, which means that this machine can be connected to everywhere. And the last one is the VPC endpoint. VPC endpoint I will talk about later, but it is just, you can understand that VPC is basically a create a private network routing within AWS account. So when we pass this 171.10.0.0/16 local, what does it means? That it will enable the connectivity between the whole VPC, not only the in between subnets, but in each and every VPC, because it is a VPC subnet we are passing, and it will be accessible to everywhere. So I hope you have a question that if we don't able to connect the subnet directly from here, from outside the world, then if we launch a machine, how we can do a patching? So the answer of this that question is the we should have one machine, means one any resource like EC2 or anything which is present on a public subnet, that we can call as a jump host or something, whatever you want to call it. But it should be a machine that machine should have access to the these RDS or these EC2 machines, which where we can connect from this machine to this machine and do the patching activity and all. I will show you the demo in case in the demo section, but this is the way we can connect over here and we can download anything from server. Okay, let me proceed. So how NAT gateway patching is going to work? The routing, basically the routing thing is added like EC2 machine send a request. Suppose it is going to download a Docker in this EC2 machine, and Docker we need to download from the Docker packages and all from the internet Docker hub. So how it is going to happen? Or you can Docker, even you can run a Docker pull. It should be a Docker pull will be get a download from the internet. So it's just a containerized thing, and it is going to be download the thing. So how the request goes to that? First EC2 machine to the NAT gateway. The NAT gateway will send the traffic to the internet gateway, and internet gateway look in the external network. And in networking, you can understand like that, if you send a outbound, and even though inbound is blocked, but if you are sending the outbound, that route is open till the time you didn't get any response. So this route is open, so it will wait for the external network to give the response, and once the response came, it will revert back to the again to the machine. So it will download our Docker pull or anything, any software, it can be downloaded in that machine. Okay, now we can talk about a VPC. So in VPC, I have told you that VPC endpoint will create a private link, basically connect from the privately from within AWS. We can connect directly from the privately. So this is our S3 bucket. Suppose any bucket we have created. Bucket is basically it is outside the VPC. It is not present inside the VPC. We can create. In S3 bucket is a global service in AWS, which is basically outside belongs to outside the VPC. And if you want to transfer any data, you can add any file, storage file. S3 is a storage system, so you can store your large volume data into the S3 bucket. And suppose if you have a scenario something like that, you want to send data from a machine to S3 bucket, so there is a two-way. First one is that simple one, you can S3 to ask means from EC2 machine you can ask internet gateway to check that S3 bucket. It will check in the in external network, means external network in the sense external routers, means your request is going to the outside the AWS. It is not within AWS, it is going to the outside public internet. And once public internet find that S3 bucket, it will resolve it and upload your files. But this is not secure and is also very much slow because of the network lag. Here we are connecting using a public internet. We don't know external network how many uh, jumps our request is having, how many routers we are trying to connect because of the internet. But if we have a VPC endpoint, then we already created a direct link, so we can use that direct link to establish the connection and send the data privately. And that privately, it is no one can access. Even different AWS account is not able to uh, see the connection, means the connection, what connection we have. So we should use this private link and get the data. So in private network, you see that I have added PL. This is just preferred list calling for S3 bucket, but you can use anything for creating a VPC endpoint. Like if you want to connect Lambda to S3 bucket, you can create a VPC endpoint for that. So other services means other within AWS services, if you want to connect communicate within AWS and you want to communicate outside the VPC, so you can create a private link and communicate with that, and it will be faster, it will be secure. Okay, so for now this is, thank you for this one. Now I will show you the demo quickly for this. Let me open my AWS account, which is this, and here I am going to quickly on VPC. Okay, it is logged out. Let me log in again. Just a second. Yeah, I logged in again. So in AWS we have this. So right now we don't have any VPC. Quickly just create the VPC only. Last time I have created using this one, it will automatically create everything for me, but this time I'm going to use separate one so that I can be show you the demo which I created a few minutes back with the animation. So DevOps Anil hyphen VPC. Okay, I'm going to use manual input. So the manual input will be 171 dot what I have selected, 171.10.0.0/16. I am not wondering, I am not going to get IPv6 key will be the, I am good with this key. So this will only create VPC. Now apart from the VPC, let us check quickly what are others in the subnet. It is still, it is not created anything. Route table, it should create one more route table which is for new VPC. This one is the new one. So DevOps Anil VPC. So by default it created the new one. Okay. In the route table routes only it is showing that within a VPC. So we are not going to use this one. We actually we are not never going to use it. We will create our own route tables. Okay. Internet gateway, right now it is only one showing because I have created a VPC but I didn't created an internet gateway. So I need to create internet gateway, but this one is internet gateway is for the default one. This VPC is the default one. Here it is nothing created. Egress only internet gateway. No. This is a domain name specifier DSCP, which is always when you create a IP and it will add it automatically these things. So that will, this is one. Elastic IP, it should not create anything elastic IP for now. Manage preferred lists, the preferred list what I was showing over there, these are the managed preferred lists. It is just basically rename of this list in the ID format. So when you create a VPC endpoint, you need to pass these things. For S3 bucket, you need to pass this one. For DynamoDB, if you want to create a VPC endpoint for DynamoDB, you need to pass this one. So those things are there. Endpoints, right now there is a no endpoint, but we will create it, no problem with that. Endpoint service, no. NAT gateway, NAT gateway is also not created. Peering, no peering. VPC peering, I will create another lecture for that. Here this NACL is automatically created, okay, and default the NACL entry what I was showing over in the, these are the rules, inbound rule, which is allowed and denied. Because of this 100, it is allowed for everything, all the traffic and all. Outbound, this is going to be outbound as well. And subnet associated, right now I didn't created any subnet, so it is not showing over here, but when I created the subnet, by default it is added over here. Security group, the security group it is showing right now, it should be the uh, default one. Means basically the one is the default for the new VPC. This one is see the ID, it is changing from the below one. So this one is my VPC and it is created a default here. I believe within the inbound rule will be within the local only. The source is generally the default source. Okay, so DNS firewall, DNS not anything. Okay, so these are the things. Let's start with, we need to start with the internet gateway. So we need to create an internet gateway, and here I can put DevOps Anil IGW. Right now I have created an internet gateway, but I didn't attach it. It is still detached. So I need to attach with my VPC. So for attaching it, it will be it when here we need to pass the select the IP. So I know Anil DevOps Anil VPC is the attachment. So now VPC is attached, but we haven't created any subnet, okay, for our VPC. So let us quickly create the subnet. I need to select my VPC. Here subnet, public subnet 1A. So A will be represent the availability zone. 1A I am going to select, and the CIDR IP I am going to use 171.10.1.0/24. Okay, name I am good. Right now I'm not going to create a three three public subnet, three private subnet. I just going to create one public subnet and one private subnet. So this is public subnet is done. Now create another subnet which is going to be private one. So it's again the same reason. It didn't require it, but I'm selecting by my own choice. You can do any reason, it doesn't matter. Okay, private subnet created. Okay, so I put extra dot. So my subnet is ready. Now we can create quickly EC2, but right now we haven't created a route table. Yeah, we need to quickly create a route table. So create a route table to provide internet access. By default, every subnet is a private subnet until and unless route table is not present. So for that, public RT route table DevOps Anil public route table. For public route table, we need one, and this route table is going to associate with this VPC. I'm good with this. So here when you create a route table, by default this is added. So within a VPC it is going to be added. Here I need to put one more rule. That rule will be add router, and this is the world. Target should be internet gateway. So here I just need to select internet gateway. It will come up automatically the ID of a new one, and it need to be passed. Okay, so this internet gateway, it passed. Now now right now I have created a route table, but I didn't associated any subnet. So for that I need to just associate it. So even though the naming I have given a public subnet 1A per private subnet 1A, but if I select this one and save it, it will by default this one is going to be public and other one is private. Okay, so when you do that, please make sure that you are, when you select the subnet, properly select. If you want to make it public, then only add into the public route table. Otherwise your configuration naming and configuration mismatch, and you will confuse it. Okay, so this route table is done for public one, but still the private subnet is not able to communicate. So for that we need to create another private DevOps Anil private RT hyphen 1A. So here I am going to pass ability zone as well. In here right now I didn't created a NAT gateway, so I'm not going to pass right now, but I will show you that what is the use of NAT gateway. Then I will pass over here and see the show the difference, actual difference. Okay, for now just I am going to associate that private subnet into this so that it can be accessible. Now quickly we can check the network ACL. In the network ACL, last time when we saw that it is a 0 subnets, but right now if you see the subnet association, by default it is added it. We can edit it, but by default whenever we create a subnet it will automatically added over here and applied these two rules, inbound and outbound rules over the. So you can think about that network ACL is basically associate always in a subnet, and security group always associate with a resource, actual resource. And other difference in the network ACL is that here is the option of a denied as well, but in security group you can only enable it, you cannot deny it explicitly. If you want to deny the IP address, that this IP address cannot be connected to your machine, that you cannot do by security group, but you can do by network ACL, that this IP group cannot be connect to any of my machine. Then you need to pass over here the rule. Okay, so now quickly jump to the EC2 machine so that I can show you that how to what is the use of NAT gateway and what would prefer when we create without NAT gateway, how it looks like, and how it's look like when we create a NAT gateway. Uh, okay, so let me create instance over here. Public test. Okay, Here only I'm just showing you the EC2 machines. Let me select Ubuntu. I'm going to run just simple EC2 machines. So this is fine. Keep here. I think I have web in my machine so that I can use putty. In the network session, I need to change that default to DevOps Anil VPC, and the subnet would be 1A. It should be public, not private. It should be public. And IP, I need public IP. Create a security group. I'm okay with that. It can create. I'm okay with to enable this route, and it would be 15. That is fine. And launch it. Okay, this is still the time this is launching. Let me launch another machine in the private subnet. So private test, same machine, Ubuntu. Here let me create without key pair for now. Okay, because we need to connect this machine from inside of a public subnet VPC, means the this public test EC2 machine. First we need to connect there as a jump host, and then from there we need to connect this machine. Okay, so right now I'm not using any key pair for now. And network, here we don't need a public IP, because we can within subnet we can use private IP of that machine, so it will be good for that. I can use the select last one because it is the same security group, and here again 15, and we are good to go. Okay, so hopefully both machines are running. Okay, so this one is running. Let me log into this machine, grab the public IP and open the putty. Hopefully this is my web. Only I need to change the IP. Let me see if it is able to open that. Oh, key is not. Okay, then I cannot connect from here. I don't have any local key, so for that I need to use browser base. In the browser base, I can use directly connect. It should able to connect that. Okay, so right now I am able to connect that this machine. So if you see the private IP 171.10.144, so here it is showing the host name that is, but we can see here in the below as well, this is the private IP. Okay, so first of all, here I am going to use sudo apt get apt update Let me see if any update is going on. So see, when we do update, it will try to see that from the internet that is the package is already there or not, and try to download is fetch it if it is not there or something. Okay, but it is happening on the public subnet right now. But if we go on the private subnet, this command is also not going to work because of the we don't have any connectivity outside the world, because we didn't associate it, not even a NAT gateway, not anything we have added in the route table, so it will not going to communicate with that. So let me log into the private subnet as well. I believe it should be running. So it is initializing, but we can still connect it. Connecting to the this machine, we just need to click on the connect and SSH client. It should be I this instance not okay. Without a key pair you cannot connect instance, so you can connect EC2 instance, just valid username. So here I just not need to pass this line, only SSH Ubuntu, and that's it. So here what we need to pass, paste. Here I no need any RSA and anything. I believe I can connect directly without. Okay, so I think it is saying that permission key. Wait a second. Locate your private key file. The file launch this instance is any ID RSA. I think that is strange. It should less hyphen LART. Let me check that cd dot ssh ls hyphen LART. Here it is nowhere in the let me try again. SSH, and the IP of this machine is this one. Paste. If it is okay, let me delete this and create the new machine with the key and create a one PEM file. Okay. Okay, let me quickly terminate this. This is terminating private test. private test 2. I'm selecting again Ubuntu. Let me create a key pair to download it. RSA PEM key pair is DevOps Anil. It will download it. Save it. Wait a second, I need to change the network first. Yeah, I need to select the private. Disable security group. That's it. Launch it. Okay, till the time machine is ready, let me do key thing first. So I have in my download so what I will do, I will create I'm not going to show the my key details on the file, but what I will do here is that cd dot dot clear ls hyphen ltr vi. Let me create that file over here because I need to execute the command here. So in search, copy from the local and paste it over here. Save it. Once it is saved, ls minus ltr, then we need to make sure that this permission should be chmod 400, then only it is going to connect. Okay, permission is the main thing. After copy the file, the permission, if the permission is not that one, it is not going to connect. Okay, I need just this public IP this time. I'll fetch the command from here only. So this is the command ssh-i dot pem, this one. So I need to just paste it again and hopefully this time it connect. Okay, so this time it is connected. Clear. Let me show that IP ADDR. So here if you see that it is connecting the private IP showing that 171.10.2.77, which is same that I have connected in the machine. If you remember that if I have last time executed that apt sudo apt get update, so this one is earlier it was working, but right now it is not working. Why? Because this subnet right now, this subnet is nothing enabled it. So we need to go and create a NAT gateway so that at least a one-way routing is enabled from the within a subnet. We can access the outside the world, but outside the world no one can access, because NAT gateway, what it will do, uh, it will only create outbound requests from that, in one-way traffic allowed. So DevOps Anil NAT Subnet, which subnet I am going to associate. This is going to be the public subnet. Make sure that you are selecting a public subnet and the public subnet of the new subnet. So okay, elastic IP, right now it is not associated any elastic IP. NAT gateway required a one public IP to establish those things. So elastic IP, it is not mentioned over here, so allocate the elastic IP. It will automatically create a elastic IP for you and it is going to associate with that, and apart from that I am good with that. So let's wait for this one to ready. It is state is pending. Its state should be, once state should be good, we are good to go. It will take little bit time. It should be not take more than 2 minutes, but we need to wait for it. And NAT gateway is a chargeable service, so once you are using that, make sure that you will pay. So for learning purpose, you can create it and destroy it. It will not cost you much. Only for 1 hour you will going to get $0.06, which means in rupees it's around 5 rupees, I believe, for 1 hour. Still it is pending. Till the time I can show you the elastic IP is generated because of the we have as created over their allocation IP, so it will be automatically attached to the NAT gateway. Right now it is in right now it is a free, but it will be going to be attached automatically. Okay, so again go to the NAT gateway. It's in pending state. Yeah, it's available now, but unfortunately still if I try to the same command, it will not work. Let me clear the screen. It is still not working. Why? Because we haven't added into the route table how this machine will understand that you have NAT gateway from the route table only. So we need to go to the route table. In the route table we have a private route table. Okay, in the private route table we have already associated our subnet, the private subnet, but in the route we haven't mentioned anything. So we need to edit route, add route, the destination, the destination will be the world, and the here it is NAT gateway. So NAT gateway ID is this one, the latest one associated, and save change. Now it is automatically going to the route. So now again clear it, and this time it should work. See, this time it is working, the traffic and all. Okay, so for demo purpose that's it. Right now let me help you to clean up as well. For cleanup and all, you need to first delete your EC2 machines, all EC2 machines present in that VPC which you have newly created. So let me quickly terminate those machines, and also you need to terminate your NAT gateway as well. Without that you cannot delete anything. For deletion, we no need to delete one by one everything, but there are few things we need to delete it because of the dependency in VPC. So apart from those things, it will be easy to do that. So I have deleting these two machines, and quickly go to the route table NAT gateway. Let me initiate the deletion of this as well. Okay, initiated the delete. And what else? We cannot let me try to release this IP. Cannot release this. Okay, so release, cancel. Let me refresh it. Okay, till the time it is associated with this, it is cannot be removed. So NAT gateway is not deleted, we cannot remove that IP. Still it is there. It should come as a deleted, not deleting. Then only we can say that it is, yeah, it is deleted showing. Now this time it should work. Release elastic IP. What? How come? This is strange. It's very strange, but let us try to delete the VPC, then we can come back to the elastic IP again. PC router. So here now it should be I should able to delete this, and route table and all automatically should delete with that. Even though I think internet gateway is going to be delete. So will be deleted. This internet gateway is going to delete this public route table, this route table, this default security group, the private subnet, and the public subnet. These are the resource automatically going to be deleted from this. So if you see internet gateway right now, it is should be only one. Yep, elastic IP. I don't know why it is not release. Yeah, this time it is able to release it. Okay, it is released. So this is the cleanup of the all the VPC and all. Thank you for watching this. If you like that, please hit the like button and subscribe for more videos like this.